everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Above Average Baseball Show with your host. That's me, the King Source. Before we get into this, remember that red button says subscribe to the channel, like the videos, watch them all the way through. It really helps everybody out. I'm serious. Now, what's going on in baseball? Well, we just had a move pop out and roll this Chapman to the Pirates. I told you he's going to NL Central. I picked the Cubs, but Pirates close enough for me. It's believed to be a one-year deal. From what I've heard, I have not heard anything else. So, roll this Chapman off the board as the reliever market continues to move. Well, what else can we expect? Well, there's a couple things that I believe they're inevitable. No insider report is willing to rule them out. And that is Cody Bellinger to the Cubs and Blake Snell to the Yankees. They both feel inevitable when you go through all the evidence and data we have on them. Now, what would I expect deals to be like? For Snell, 6 years in the 165 to 188 million range. I do think he comes down there and the Yankees pounce. For Cody Bellinger, I'm still thinking 8 years. It just fits. Could be option years in there. Who knows? And I'm thinking somewhere in the 25 to 30 million per range. So we're talking 200 to 240 million. Somewhere in there. We'll see what happens ultimately on these guys and others. Jordan Montgomery right now, he's still trying to close a deal with the Rangers, basically. That's the latest we have on him. On Matt Chapman, it's between the Cubs and Giants, and we don't really have information coming out to really read. So there's an update to some of the bigger free agents. We also know the Yankees are the main team after Hector Neris, whose demands are nowhere near what they were first alleged to be, which I was the first to call that out. So he's actually for 2 to 3 years at 7 to 11 million per. So that is 21 to 33 million per. That's why the deal is close to the Yankees. His demand's nowhere near what they reported to be. That's another problem with baseball and sports reporting in general, is that they report the wrong numbers, and then when the real ones come out, everybody's going, huh? I thought there were these other lower numbers. And it just confuses everybody. So, the market is kind of dead. Why? Why is the market so dead? I do believe it is otherworldly demands that should be illegal. I think there should be mandates where if you put your demands out and they're out for 30 days and nobody tries to match them, then you have to drop them. I think that should be mandated. And I think Snell's already Yankee if that's the case. Yeah, and that would be to attack Boris, because Boris, the way he works, should be illegal. Taking players this long has to be addressed. How dead this offseason has been has to be addressed by baseball. Okay? I have heard 4 insiders in the last 24 hours talk about, maybe 30 hours, talk about how this is the worst offseason they can remember. They've never experienced an offseason like this, how dead it is. And I have to agree. This one has just been weird. Just weird. Okay? So, will it heat up? That's the question everybody wants to know. And I don't think anybody's an answer to. We're going to have probably at least 50 big free agents still sitting in free agency when spring training starts in about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. This is the weirdest thing I've seen. I don't know what to expect of this one. I don't know how to explain this one. It's the weirdest thing Rob Murray's seen, Passan, Willenthal, Claypish, others saying the same thing. This is just a weird offseason. Nobody knows what to make of this offseason. Man, hard one. The one rule I would put in is what I just said, where free agents are free to make an initial demand, but 30 days after that, they must lower it if no team has matched it. Okay? Now, there would be reasonable attempts to match it as well. Say, with Snell, the Yankees put in a 5-year or 6-year, $150 million offer on the table, and he's still $90 million above it. That's a reasonable attempt, which means he'd be mandated to drop it at least half of the gap. And then I guarantee a deal gets done quickly. For others where they never have an offer, like we can't even confirm Cody Bellinger has an offer yet, same with Matt Chapman, we can't really enforce that. Okay? So, yeah, patience. With these rules changes, you can't just go change all the rules and then make a mess of free agency either. There has to be a careful balance. All right? So, where would this careful balance be? I think what I've already suggested. Another rule I would put in is all of the top 100 ranked free agents every offseason must be signed by Christmas Day. And every one of them knew their market and knew how much they were going to get. And these deals that we're seeing come out now are actually less than most of them were getting. Deals after the new year are always lower than what they would have been before the new year. Baseball has to address their offseason. They can't continue these boring ones. They will lose fans, okay? I officiate sports 3-4 times a week, maybe 5 times some weeks. And the kids are always talking to me, and it's high school, middle school. So they're always saying, what is with baseball? Why won't they fix this offseason? Why is it so slow? And it's not just the players. Other kids at the games come up to me, like cheerleaders or fans or the student sections. And they're always asking me, and I don't have an answer for them. Okay? We need answers. We need answers. We need this offseason fixed. And soon. Okay? So are there any free agents where it's heating up on them? Hector Neris and Wandy Peralta, yes. Yes. Okay? The Yankees are in hot pursuit of both. If they sign both, they will not rule out Blake Snell. No chance. I do think Torres gets traded just to alleviate salary issues. There's already talks about it. But as Robert Murray said today, the trade market's pretty dead right now. There's nothing heating up, nothing going on, basically. No trades are expected until the trade deadline. So we might have seen the best trades this offseason. In fact, we did. No trade's going to top Juan Soto. It's just not possible. Just not possible. What trades are foreseen at this point at trade deadline? Well, keep an eye on the guys on expiring contracts. Not Juan Soto, but your Pete Alonsos, your Shane Biebers, your Corbin Burns, even Gleyber Torres, etc. Lots of these guys will be moved. And for less than they could be now. I've never gotten why teams will wait till the trade deadline just kill the package they could have got before the season. I've never gotten that one. So, yes, the offseason needs to be fixed. Now, getting back to Wander Franco, his baseball career is over per every insider. He will be going to jail, to prison. How long remains up in the air, but he has been charged, we'll just say, with heinous acts against a minor. And I'll leave it at that. So he is done. Where do the Rays go from here? Well, they just acquired a shortstop in a trade. So they do have one. We'll see if he's any good. Now, the Rays are probably going to flop to 3rd or 4th in the division. Yankees and O's are past them. Will the Jays be? We'll see. We'll see. So, let's go one by one on these free agents again and give you the latest, absolute latest I have. On Blake Snell, Robert Murray flat out said, I cannot confirm the Yankees are only to make an offer, but I can't confirm there's any other offers. He said he's been told there's other teams after him, but where's the proof? I don't buy there being any other teams after him. I think that's a Scott Boras lie. I think Robert Murray was told that, but I think it's a Scott Boras lie that there's any other teams involved in Blake Snell. If there was really all these teams involved in Blake Snell, why isn't he signed? Some team would have convinced him to meet in the middle at this point. Tells me the Yankees are literally the only team after Blake Snell and are just waiting to price tag down. Remember, Judge wants him. Cole wants him. Rodon even said he would love to have him. Keep this in mind. And Jordan Montgomery, it's got to be one of 3 teams, the Mets, the Red Sox, or the Rangers. I believe the Rangers. They're waiting out the Bally Sports deal, and that ruling to delay it really hurt Jordan Montgomery. He'd be signed by now if not for that ruling. So he'll be waiting that one out. So that's where he stands. On Matt Chapman, again, believed to be Giants or Cubs getting him. Believe they both have offers out on him, but we don't know the offers. Don't know numbers, know if they are legit or just to say they made an offer type. What happens to Hamilton? He's going to find a pretty good deal. The belief is 5 to 6 years at around $100 million. Maybe $120 million if he's lucky. That's the belief right now on Matt Chapman. Okay? On Cody Bellinger. It's dead. Completely dead on him. The Cubs have been pushing to close the deal, but he is refusing to come down on his demands. And again, this goes back to where that rule needs to be put in place to end the game Scott Boras plays. Because no team has actually made Bellinger an offer. Therefore, he would be forced to drop his demands, even not the years, but the dollars, probably to about $160 million. Then I guarantee the Cubs can come together very quickly. Okay? So very, very interesting rumblings around Cody Bellinger, with there being none, which nobody really knows what to make of. Josh Hader signed with the Astros, and something tells me he's going to flop. Every reliever that is tops in the game before turning 30 has flopped after turning 30. Even Craig Kimbrell has flopped. Craig Kimbrell no longer holds that record of more strikeouts than hits and walks allowed. It is now eclipsed back the other way. It's not good at all. And if you look at the history, Aroldis Chapman, Andrew Miller, all of them, they've all flopped after age 30. And it didn't take long. You're also putting Josh Hader in a ballpark that could not be a worse possible fit for him. He allows a lot of fly balls to straightaway left. And that's not good in Houston. Shallowest left field in the game. I think he flops it in that ballpark. I think it'd be a big flop. So, yeah. Not a good fit at all. Okay? Not a good fit. Another one's not a good fit is Stroman. Stroman's stats projected in Yankee Stadium are not good. He's projected to be a near ace on the road and just piss poor. Really bad at home in Yankee Stadium. We'll see how he goes. Now, other rumblings, there's not a lot out there right now. The trade market is just gone silent. Free agency, everybody's talking to all the free agents, feeling them out, trying to see who will bend. I'm stunned, though, nobody is mentioning Jock Pederson at all, and it is Pederson. It's just a stunner that nobody's even mentioning him anywhere. I don't know what to make of that one. Why he's not signed. Any team offers 4 years, $40 million, they'll get him. You're getting a 3,100 hitter. He might only hit about 240, 250, but you're getting a 3,100 hitter. The DH market, I'll include with this one, is dead in and of itself. Turner, JD Martinez, CJ Cron, Garrett Cooper. There's just not a lot of talks around him. Cooper's at least getting traction with the Brewers. At least we can say that about him. But there's just not a lot going on here in this DH market. I'm not sure why. So many teams need DHs. Why aren't they trying for him? Very odd one. Another one nobody's talking about is Hyun-Jin Ryu. How is he not finding a team? Left-hand pitcher, top rotation arm, and he's right. How's Hyun-Jin Ryu not finding a team? It's so bizarre. So bizarre. And if Ryu can't find a team, how's Snell going to? That's another good point there. Just popped in my head. Just look at this free agent market. There are 40 guys who 2 years ago teams would have been jumping to sign. Star-level players that are just sitting there. They can't get traction with a team. You know, for a fact, no other teams even talked to Blake Snell, let alone made him an offer. The Yankees made him an offer, and they've never pulled it. People are lying, saying Snell rejected the Yankees' offer. No, he didn't. He merely countered, saying 8 years, 240. That's not rejection. That's saying you got to come up here. Some point soon, you've got to see these guys start flying off the board. It just cannot sustain this way. It cannot sustain this way. All these teams could not be going in to spring training with all these guys sitting in free agency unsigned. It's just mind-boggling. Makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. Let's talk about rule changes coming for a bit. There are rule changes coming, but we don't know a lot about them. I do not like the shortening of the pitch clock. Brain dead, to say the least. And I guarantee there's going to be an MLBPA lawsuit against the MLB to just get rid of the pitch clock completely. It's going to happen due to the shortening of the pitch clock. MLB has not put in a good rule ever. Since electric taxes have put in, the MLB is going downhill. There's a reason teams are against it. Players are against it and everything. Finally, with the salary cap rumblings, it's never happening. Tony Clark himself said the MLBPA took a vote and they are unanimous against ever putting a salary cap in baseball, and about 88% in favor of doing away with the luxury tax. So that might be what happens. Not, I repeat, not a salary cap. Salary cap's never happening. It's never coming. But doing away with luxury tax might. Putting in a salary floor might. It's been the King Source, everybody. Have a great day. Remember, the King Source loves you.
What's your IQ? You seem like a very, very intelligent man.
You did Mr. IQ, I know. 61 plus 6
So obviously you're is that right?
Albert Einstein's IQ was 164.